This is sick and twisted. I don't remember Billy acting like this. This is the show where we all got our dark humor from. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Vlogmas Day 11. We're literally at the finish line. The last day of Vlogmas is tomorrow, thus completes the 12 days of Vlogmas Cartoon Edition. Cause I said as long as I get one comment on each Vlogmas video, I'm coming back for the next day. And y'all are just iconic, showing out. One comment each day? That's my community. Okay, today we're gonna be talking about the grim adventures of Billy and Mandy. Y'all remember that show? Specifically the Keeper of the Reaper episode. Rewatching this episode as an adult has made me reflect on some life choices. So let's talk about it, because you know I got my notes. Because hi, my name is Chris Az. I'm a YA contemporary fantasy author and the creator of my own indie comedy mystery cartoon, WKS. The pilot's out now. Go check it out and then come back here. Anyways, what happened in the Keeper of the Reaper episode of Billy and Mandy? Well, let me tell you. For those who don't know or you just don't remember and need a refresher, I got you. Basically, in the episode, Billy's dad gets a work transfer and so they have to move away. Billy's all down, sad sack, depressed, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go. But then he's like, it's okay because I get to take Grim. Mandy's like, oh heck no. Grim suggests they go to court to handle this like adults, and thus Keeper of the Reaper episode. They're going to trial to figure out who gets to keep Grim, Billy or Mandy. Now you see how I just gave you that succinct summary in maybe like 10-15 seconds? Unlike my other cartoon analysis videos, keep that in mind as to why that is, because we're going to talk about that later in the video. But for the sake of detail and painting you a real good picture in your mind, I'm about to break this episode down Van Gogh style. First, it starts off with this incompetent monster named Fredburger. He gets summoned to jury duty, and then Billy and Mandy walk into the courtroom. Then the judge pop up, and his name is Judge Spleen. He didn't even know he was the daggone judge. Anyways, Billy takes the floor first and recounts exactly what happened and how they got here, which was from Billy's dad's work transfer. Then Billy brings up his first witness, which is his friend Erwin. Erwin popped up mid-bath. He was all disoriented, discombobulated. He probably didn't even scrub behind his ears yet. They done transported the boy in the middle of a monster courtroom. Then he didn't even have his glasses on, so he really seeing these monsters in 5D. I was even a little spooked out. I said, I don't remember him looking like this. Them things look like foot fungus. Anyways, by this point, Mandy offers Billy a settlement deal, which is a bag of monkey heads. Billy says, girl, bye, I'm winning this case. I'm taking Grim for myself. So then it's Mandy's turn to bring up her witnesses, and her first witness is Jeff the Spider. After him, Mandy brings up Bill Porkchop, which was another one of Billy's pets. And obviously all Mandy's witnesses are downing Billy. But what really sent me is when she asked Bill Porkchop about how Billy was, how he acted, the treatment. And Bill Porkchop was like, I still wake up every night screaming. This is why we are the way that we are. Then Billy calls Mandy's mom and dad to the stand, and you know, they're scared of her. Mandy's dad literally said, when she was born, wolves came to raise her as one of their own. Sometimes I wonder if we were right to stop them. Wrap it up. Throw the whole court case away. This is so unserious. Scooby-Doo popped up on the stand along with a montage of other people. Somehow Fredburger convinces the judge that friendship and staying together is more important than fighting, even though Fredburger was only like, yes, 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 the whole time. So the judge sentences Billy's family to house arrest for eternity. Happily ever after. Okay, now that I've set the scene and you know exactly what happened in this episode, let's talk about the characters. Which character was the biggest maniac? Fredburger. Every time, every 10 seconds, he was interrupting the court case like, is there nachos? Is there hot dog? I'm hungry. I gotta go use the bathroom. It's like Billy in monster form, which was kind of cool. Which character was the funniest? Billy, hands down, wrap it up, case closed. Billy was hilarious. He carried, truly carried. When they were in court and Billy was sad and Fredburger was like, oh, are you gonna cry? And Billy was like, shut up! Then in the flashback, when Billy was explaining how they got there, Billy said goodbye to the doorknob and licked it along with a series of other things, and then the last thing he was gonna lick was an electrical outlet. Billy got it, but that's dark. Billy and Mandy was dark humor. And then when Erwin got transported there and he was scared, Billy was like, don't worry, they won't hurt you. Unless they decide to. Very much so, you better keep it cute or you gonna get got. Then when Mandy asked Jeff the Spider how Billy was as a caregiver, Jeff was like, he was pretty good, I guess. Except that he's never remembered my birthday or paid child support. In fact, he usually just jabs me with a big stick. Ow! And Billy says, I'll jab you good, you filthy bum. Why was this show dark? Not they mentioned in child support. We didn't even know what that was. Then Jeff was like, why don't you love me, Dad? I'll be anything you want me to be. Billy said, I want you to be dead. This had to have been the darkest show. It was hilarious. You never skip Billy and Mandy. Next, which character deserved to keep Grim, Billy or Mandy? I feel like Billy needed Grim, just because of how mentally, you know, he was. But Mandy had some problems. Grim gave her some light, I feel like, ironically. I'm going Billy because I'm biased. Billy deserved a Keeper of the Reaper. Billy, lock it in. Which character gave me side-eye? Erwin, but stick with me. Here's why. I love seeing Erwin pop up as like a nerdy black kid because there's no stereotype there. So I was like, yeah. But then he started saying yo every 5 seconds and I'm like, oh, they did this because, oh, right. And then 2 + 2 = 6 and up, come down and oh, yeah. So that was like why you gotta say yo all the time? Let me put my Dr. Umar cap on. And finally, which character shocked me? Or in this case, characters, because it was Billy, Mandy, and Graham when they burst out in the song and doing that musical number. I do not remember as a kid watching that musical number at the end. They quite literally broke out into song. Who gets to be the Keeper of the Reaper? The Keeper of the Reaper? I don't remember that. So clearly he didn't do much then and it really didn't do much now. They could have left that musical number off the show. But I guess it was kind of cute. So here's what I noticed watching Billy and Mandy Keeper of the Reaper as a kid versus an adult now. The whole jury duty concept, the whole court case, everything that was going on. As a kid, you're like, what is jury duty? You maybe, and then you get the gist, oh, you go to court. What is court? And then they're like closing arguments, settlement, this, that. We don't know what that means as a kid. We're just watching for fun. And then I guess we catch on. As an adult rewatching it, I was eating it up. I said, oh, I know what cross-examination is. I know the settlement. I know all the lingo. Okay, I watch my law shows. Courtesy of Annalise Keating. Something I noticed as an adult was there's lots of screaming in the show. Now, as a kid, I loved that. SpongeBob is my favorite cartoon ever, so I do love screaming and obnoxious behavior. But as an adult, I had to turn down the volume just a notch or two. I know, just a notch or two. And then not to mention the whole moving premise, because that was kind of the catalyst that started the whole episode. Watching it now as an adult and seeing Billy's parents visibly so excited, like the mom was ready to go. She was out of there. She literally bulldozed the house down. And they're ready to go, change lives, skip town. Meanwhile, Billy's sad and depressed. He doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to leave his friends. I thought that was a good sort of juxtaposition between the adults versus the kids, because the kids, you don't want to leave your friends. I always love to move. So I guess that never changed for me. But now as an adult, you can kind of picture like why Billy's mom wanted to skip town and go far away. She was clearly unhappy and they had some marital problems going on. Comment down below your thoughts on the move though. Like when you were a kid, were you excited versus like as an adult, you don't like to move, or vice versa? Because I'm curious. And then the last thing that stuck out to me was the simplistic plot. I feel like in my previous cartoon videos, it takes me longer to get to the plot and provide a really good summary of the episode. But with Billy and Mandy, this was just easy. It's less about plot though. This isn't an intricate story. This is jokes throwing dark humor at the wall, meant for you to catch it, which we did. And yeah, it stuck. But Codename Kids Next Door, Avatar, those are more story based. Billy and Mandy, this is just fun. This is jokes, but also dark jokes, which is why we like the way we are right now. Comment down below too. Are you a fan of dark humor? Because that Jeff the Spider, that was the best bit. And he's like, love me, Dad. I'll be anything you want me to be. I want you to be Dad. But that's all the time we have for today's video. If you enjoyed this cartoon video essay analysis and laughed, then you're gonna love my comedy mystery cartoon called WKS. The pilot is out now. Go check it out. And one more thing, I just want to highlight how ridiculous Fred Fredburger was. Is he took literally the judge's gavel. He was like, can I borrow your hammer? And the judge was like, this is a gavel. Fred Fredburger was like, okay, well, can I borrow this? And he started banging against the wall and he turned around, just off. Something was off with Fred. Yes, Mr. Burger. A few screws loose. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more cartoon videos. Follow me on Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. And make sure to comment down below, because if I get at least one comment, then I'm coming back for the last day of Vlogmas Day 12 to finish us off. And who knows what cartoon rewatch I'm gonna do next.